Hi everyone, it's Sam and I'm back with another video for lawnfawn. Today I'm making a card with the birthday mouse dies, really high five stamps and dies, party animal stamps and dies, you autumn no stamps and dies, bubbles of joy stamps and dies, and the new pull and slide die set. I had already had some leftover images that I had colored for a recent card that I made, and I was like, well, I'm going to reuse those images while also coloring in some new images. So I'm just coloring them all the same way. I am using mid-brown, mustard, and light beige to color in the mice. I am starting by doing a kind of base layer of mustard, the middle color all over, using my damp water brush to pull it out. In the areas I want it shading, I'm adding the mid-brown, pulling that out with the mustard, and then finally pulling it all out with the light beige. And that's how I'm just adding contrast and shadow to all of my mouse images. Then I'm using pale orange and light carmine for the cheeks, ears, and nose. I also use the light carmine for the little dots on top of the party hats. I'm going to be using orange, bright yellow, scarlet red, and carmine red for the reds for the top layer of the stripe, the oranges for the bottom. For the rest of the party hat stripes, I'm using lemon yellow, yellow, mint green, turquoise green, and light blue. I'm also going to use just a swipe of blue for that bottom little stripe. Now I'm going to color the balloons. I'm using light beige, pale orange, and pink for the small balloon. This is my favorite color combo. Then I'm using carmine, scarlet red, and mid-brown. I always use a brown when I shade my reds. I'm using just a tiny, tiny strip of the brown though, if you can tell. Pulling that out with the medium red, and then pulling that out with the light red, quote unquote, then using my water brush to pull out most of the color. A little bit of red and brown goes a long way, so I definitely use minimal swipes of those colors. The last two balloons, I'm going to be using vanilla and light carmine, and I'm just using the vanilla to pull out the pink, and that way it makes the shadow on the bottom of the balloon. Okay, so I die cut this multiple times. I cut it from white and I also cut it from black. And I'm going to be using, once I get the glue to come out, I'm running out of glue. I need to order some more, so having a little bit of struggle bus. But I'm just attaching the background of the mouse image so that I can glue everything together. So we're almost there. Next, I'm going to be doing lots and lots and lots and lots of ink blending, and I sped it up because it actually took me quite a while to do. But yes, I'll walk you through it. I'm using picked raspberry and dried marigold for this balloon. I'm using the lawnfawn glue to attach it. And next, I'm going to be ink blending the mouse and the party hats. Now, some of these pieces are quite small, comically small. I love ink blending, so I had no problem, committing to this. However, do what is easiest for you. Here are some other options that might make ink blending, or that might make die cutting this mouse easier for you. Cardstock. Die cut it from cardstock. Color is already done because it's already ink blended. That would be a great way to do it. I did want to point out I'm using vintage photo and fossilized amber for the mouse body. Once all the mouse pieces of his body were ink blended, I'm just going to glue it onto the shape. Again, I don't have one of those pickup tools, sticky picky uppy tools. Kind of wished I had one at this point but that's okay. I used my fingers and got it done. Um, Next, I'm going to be ink blending the party hats. Look how small these are. Oh, I'm sorry, the ears. I just used a little bit I used saltwater taffy. I'm so sorry. I also used it for the nose, but I changed that to black because I didn't like how it looked. But at this point, it is pink. Next, I'm doing the party hats. I did abandoned coral for the top, picked raspberry for the middle stripe, and then dried marigold for the bottom stripe. Again, highly recommend maybe die cutting with cardstock so you can avoid all this. However, that's not what I chose. All right, let's get on to the main body of this card. I'm using the pull and slide card die. Everything was die cut from white cardstock. I die cut out the tab that I'm going to use to pull it. The two long strips, which will be used as kind of a guide. The two panels, the one that has the slits cut in the middle and the one that's doesn't. And I'm going to be doing, you guessed it, more ink blending. Again, cardstock would save you this step. Also, it might be easier for you to ink blend if that's the route you chose before you die cut. This actually, after what I had ink blended on the mouse, was a breeze. No issues. I'm using Blueprint Sketch, Mermaid Lagoon, Peacock Feathers, and Cracked Pistachio. I'm going to be using this color combination 3 times. So first I did the panel that has the die cuts in it that will actually fold up. Next, I'm doing the one that will pull. Same colors in loosely the same areas. Blueprint Sketch at the top, followed by Mermaid Lagoon, followed by Peacock Feathers, and finished with Cracked Pistachio. Then I'm going to take a piece of A2 cardstock and do the same ink blending. Here we go again. Blueprint Sketch, Mermaid Lagoon, Peacock Feathers, and Cracked Pistachio. This is another moment of learn as I go, where I thought I don't even have to ink blend in the middle because I will be covering it up with my pull tab, my pull slide die. Yes and no. You'll see. Okay, but first I'm going to add the clouds to the background. I'm using the exact same colors, Blueprint Sketch, Mermaid Lagoon, Peacock Feathers, and Cracked Pistachio, but with like a lot of pressure. I'm pushing down so that it is a darker tone-on-tone shade. I'm lining up the A2 that I did with the clouds with the pull in front so that it's in the same kind of area. The clouds kind of line up when I put it all together. And again, just more pressure, same colors, tone on tone. I love, love, love a tone on tone look. And I'm just going to be repeating that again. I'm lining it up so that it all kind of matches the clouds when they line up, when they're all stacked on top of each other. And finally, I think I'm done with ink blending. It doesn't seem like much in this video, but it did take a while. But I do love it, so no biggie. Next, we're going to put the mechanism together. I'm adding glue to the 2 strips on the sides and attaching them to the edges of my pull tab. I'm going to start by lifting the flap up and using my bone folder, then folding it down and folding it back up. So it kind of looks like a N. It goes up, fold it down, fold it up. Valley, mountain, valley. Is that better? Next, I'm going to peel off the tape that we added on the bottom strip, attach it to the back panel, and look, you can see it already works. It's perfect. Next, I'm going to heat emboss part of the sentiment, so when you lift it up, you get a fun surprise, and it's going to say, high five really high, because clearly these mice are celebrating your birthday in the sky. So it's really high. I'm just using white. Please excuse my hair. I didn't even brush it. I just put it up. I'm heat embossing in white. And then I can attach this panel to my card front. I'm sorry. I'm just going to add glue along those white strips again and attach that straight to the panel after I fight with my glue. Again, I do need to order more. And then I'm going to check and see how it works. And perfect. Whee, yay. And this is where it got fun. This is basically how the card's going to look. I had to set it all up so that I could see how I wanted it to finally look in the end. I do change some things. I'm not popping anything up with foam tape. Everything is being glued directly to the papers. As you can see, this mouse in that little peekaboo window is holding 2 balloons. That causes a little bit of an issue later because it's 3 layers of cardstock essentially on top of each other. So it does cause a little bit of an issue. You'll see, but I wouldn't change it. I still love it. I love how happy these mice are. Okay, so next, I really wanted this little guy to hang on a balloon. I just wasn't sure where. So after a little bit of moving and looking around, I decided to add another little balloon for this guy who gets pulled up on the pull and slide tab. And then I'm going to, make sure it stays. I'm going to see where the best place to put that little mouse is. As I was thinking about it, I decided, well, let's add this little decorative tab to the pull tab. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll put it on the pull tab, but I didn't. But that would have been cute. I might do that for another time. I decided to add him to the balloon of the mouse because why not? It's so cute. And you can see how I struggle a little bit to fold over because that layer is so deep. I would not recommend doing 3 layers of images inside the window. But other than that, it really is so cute and so fun. I'm just going to attach it to an actual card base. And then this is the card. Look how fun these little cute mice are having. It's so fun. What a fun. This was such an easy card to make. I was intimidated at first to make it, but it actually was so easy, and I really hope you try. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to check this card out up on the Lawnfawn blog and have a great day. Bye.